Experts believe the deadly famine in Somalia could get worse. Hard to think that what we saw in Mogadishu about a month ago could become even more desperate, but the famine is in fact spreading. Today, the United Nations saying that the number of people who need emergency aid has climbed to 4 million. That's a jump from 2.4 million in need just 8 months ago. It said that 750,000 people are right now in danger of imminent starvation. 750,000 people. The UN says the crisis is only going to deepen unless the world community steps in to try to help. The group Al-Shabaab has delayed and even stopped the flow of food to Somalians who are desperately in need. In some cases, in the areas they control, they've outlawed inoculations of kids. Here's some of what we saw in Mogadishu in a poorly equipped hospital for kids.
Many kids are able to bounce back. With quick intervention, they gain weight day after day. For others, however, the malnutrition is too far along. CNN's Naima Al-Baghir introduced us to Abdullah Hassan. He lost a daughter. Now his 18-month-old son is sick as well.
You must be very worried about your child. How long has your child been sick?
قال لك كم مضى المرض مع ابنك؟
بعد هذا حتى إلا 6 أشهر.
For the last 6 months, he's been ill, he says, but as the famine has tightened around us, no one's been able to help us. So then we came here, and now we're just hopeful. In the corner of the room, Muhammad and his wife Rugia sit in silence. Between them, we notice a small pile of cloth. It turns out it's covering the body of their son. His name was Ali. He was just 1 year old.
They came up from the areas held by Al-Shabaab, and it was just so difficult to get out. It took them so long to get out that by the time they arrived, there was nothing anyone could do for him. He died about 2 hours ago.
So this child has just died?
Yeah.
And what will they do with him now?
They don't even have enough money to bury him. So they're just sitting here hoping that someone will come and in this situation, nobody has any money, but they're hoping that together people try and put money in together when things like this happen, and they can raise the funds. Otherwise, they have no means of burying him.
Should point out we helped that family bury the child, but there are so many others still in need. 750,000 people, according to the UN, in facing imminent starvation right now. Naima Al-Baghir joins us tonight from London. When we were in Somalia with you a few weeks ago, the UN announced that Mogadishu was part of the famine zone. Now it's spread even further, and the UN is saying it still doesn't have the money it needs.
Yeah, I mean, this was something that we kept coming back to again and again, that you're 2 months into a UN call for assistance. They want $1 billion from the entire donor community, and they still don't have the money. And the funds that are being pledged, that are in place, frankly, I think when you're talking about the world's largest economies, are actually quite embarrassing. I mean, the US has given just under 90 million. The UK has given 83 million. And all the way down here, you have someone like France, which has only given 6 million. And when you're talking about the fact that during those 2 months, while those funds still have not been fully raised, they've said that tens of thousands of people have died. We've had aid workers telling us that hundreds of people are dying every day, and half of those that have already died are children.
The other thing is this is a significant time in Somalia because of the harvest season. This is when, what, is this the planting time?
Yeah, I mean, we're actually coming into the rainy season in October, and actually they're quite hopeful that this rainy season might be a little bit better, but people are, I mean, you saw them so weak, so utterly devastated, that the aid agencies are worried that if they can't feed them now, then they won't be able to plant. If they can't plant, they won't harvest, and we'll be in exactly the same situation next time this year. This year, next time.
And some countries are saying, look, they don't want to give money because of Al-Shabaab, this terrorist group, this Islamist group in Somalia. They don't allow, aid into famine-struck areas. They've outlawed inoculations. Is that still a legitimate concern?
I really don't think it is. We've been speaking to the Red Cross, and they are one of the few aid organizations, in fact, the only aid organizations in terms of the scale of the area that they've been given access to by Al-Shabaab. And they're trying to raise funds to feed 1.1 million people, and they haven't managed to raise the over $155 million that they need. So when donor countries say that, you then say, well, why haven't you given to the Red Cross? And realistically, a lot of these people are going into the camps in Kenya that have always been recruitment grounds for Al-Shabaab. And now Al-Shabaab are hugely unpopular because they haven't allowed foreign aid in. So even if you're just thinking from a perspective of national interest, when these people sit desperate and dying in camps and they feel like the world has completely forgotten about them, you know, they're going to start looking around and think, well, maybe al-Shabaab were right. Maybe the West doesn't care about us. And then you're going to see that militancy and that radicalization starting up all over again, Anderson.
Namel Bagir, appreciate it. Thanks very much.